Is your partner avoidant or does he just not like you? I know that question can sting, but if you've ever been in a relationship with an avoidant partner, you know how confusing it can be. One day they're affectionate and then the next they're pulling away. And you're left wondering, are they just wired this way or is he actually just not that into me? Here's the truth. Avoidants do love differently, but if someone truly loves you, even if they're avoidant, you'll still feel wanted. Avoidants themselves do want love, and I happen to be married to someone who tends to be more on the avoidance side. In this video, I'm going to give you 2 ways to finally get that clarity like I did. And let me warn you, this isn't about decoding their mixed signals. This is about you stepping into your power and seeing what happens next. Hi, beautiful souls. Mireille Nicole here, relationship coach. I'm all about guiding you towards your happily ever after and helping you tackle the tough stuff in love with grace and wisdom. As usual, I'm going to start us off by getting a little bit personal because for those of you that are new to my world, integrity and authenticity are huge values of mine. And I never talk about anything that I haven't experienced myself. Even though I might have been trained or certified in something, what I teach and share with you, I can always relate, and I have tested the techniques in my own relationship to ensure they actually do work. So like I said, my husband tends to be more on the avoidance side, and I'm more on the anxious side. Classic, right? When we argued, he would shut down, he would distance himself in the past. And when something was bugging him, maybe he didn't bring it up right away. And by the way, he still does those things, right? Because he still has that avoidant tendency. If he's stressed out or down, maybe he'll go to the man cave and he won't want to hang out with me and do the things we normally do together as much. And yes, by the way, the man cave is a thing. I did a whole video on that topic, and if you want to check it out, I'll link it up here. That used to really bother me and it would make me super insecure. And when we hit our rough patch in years 3 to 6 of our relationship, I started doubting if he still loved me and if this was even going to work out. But when I learned the 2 ways to tell if your partner is just avoidant or if he just doesn't like you or he's just not into you, I got the clarity I needed, and it supported us in getting back to that honeymoon phase and even stronger than ever. So let's dive in. Number 1, start acting secure and see what changes. One of my favorite quotes is from Jim Rohn, and it says, "For things to change, you have to change." So here's the fastest way to figure out if your avoidant partner actually wants to be with you. Stop playing the anxious game. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're with an avoidant partner, it's easy to fall into chasing mode. You're always the one initiating, always the ones worrying about where do you stand. So here's your challenge. For the next, let's say, 2 weeks, act like you're a secure person. Act like a secure person would. Stop over-explaining your feelings. Give him space without pushing him away or panicking. Focus on your own life. Do your hobbies. Call your friends. Start a new passion. Then observe. Do they step up or fade away? A partner who actually likes you, even if they're avoidant, will notice the shift and adjust. He'll start coming back towards you. But if he doesn't, that's your answer. I'm at the point now of doing this work where I can start seeing the subtle cues my partner gives off that he's feeling overwhelmed by the relationship in some way. And when that happens, I'll always check in. And depending on his answer, we can talk it out and get back on track. Otherwise, I let him solve his own problems. I let him be that avoidant in a way, right? I let him be like a grown man and I focus on my own happiness. I'll call up a girlfriend and make plans. I'll start reading a new book. And I'm really focusing on ensuring that I'm in my own feminine energy, ready to receive once he snaps out of it. Obviously, I've been in relationships where the man never came back. I did this and clearly I discovered he just wasn't the person for me. Some did come back in my relationships, but it still wasn't meant to be. And I always got the most clarity when I focused on myself. Number 2, trust your intuition. Your gut always knows. Your intuition is powerful. It's your inner compass, always guiding you towards what's right for you. But when you're caught in a cycle of doubt, worry, or overthinking, it can be really hard to hear and listen to your intuition because you start questioning yourself. You start analyzing every little thing your partner says or does. And you're always looking for like outside validation instead of trusting what you already know deep down. So if you feel confused about whether your partner is avoidant or just not that into you, the best thing you can do is stop obsessing over them and start focusing on you. When you're filled with uncertainty, the answer isn't found by chasing or fixing someone else or trying to analyze them. The answer is found in grounding yourself, getting clear on what a healthy relationship looks like for you, right? And stepping into your own power. There's a quote by Rumi that says, as you take steps, the path will show itself. And that's exactly what happened for me. I wasn't sure if my partner back in the day was avoidant or if he just wasn't interested anymore. Actually, back then, I didn't know anything about attachment styles, right? Now it's like all over the place. It's a trend. But back then, I was just always wondering if he still likes me. But now, obviously, I know he tends to be on the avoidance side. But instead of trying to figure it out, I decided to shift my focus. I worked on showing up differently, embodying my confidence, setting clear boundaries, and staying true to what I desired in love. In other words, learning and implementing the foundations of a healthy, happy, fulfilling relationship. And you know what happened? The second I stopped waiting for him to change and started prioritizing myself, my intuition became crystal clear. And I saw him stepping up. I could feel that he wasn't just pulling away because he wasn't into me. He was pulling away because of his own fears and patterns and the dynamic in our relationship that wasn't, I fully admit, right back then, I didn't know all the things that I teach and share in these videos, right? So I had this huge role to play. So when I started focusing on myself and stepping back into my energy, he started snapping out of it and leaning back towards me and showing up for me in ways that he had actually never before. And that all happened because I followed step number one, which was to really work towards becoming secure myself and focus on me. And then number two, just listening more and more to my intuition, which became a lot clearer when I started peeling my attention away from him and not over analyzing and chasing him so much. So if you're unsure, stop searching for the answer outside of yourself. Get back to you. Focus on what makes you feel strong and grounded and fulfilled. And as you do that, trust me, the truth will reveal itself, whether that means your partner starts stepping it up or you realize they never will. Your intuition will make it clear. And when you trust it, you always make the right choice. So let's recap. Number one, act secure and see what happens. If they value you, they will show it. And it will be obvious when you shift how you show up in the relationship. Number two, trust your intuition, your gut instincts, your inner voice, your inner compass is super powerful. Move forward by learning the foundations of a healthy relationship, listen closely to it, and you'll know if they're avoidant or just not into you. And if you're realizing that your relationship needs work or you're stuck in a cycle of emotional push-pull, I made a whole video breaking down exactly how to fix a struggling relationship. Click here to watch it next. And before you go, have you ever dated an avoidant partner? Are you with an avoidant partner? You're not alone. Let us know in the comments.